Hey everyone, Nercoids here once again. This is, I guess we're at Rosa Baritone Part 4. And, well, ever since there have been some developments about the guitar process of assembling the guitar, I've run into some snafus. I'm sure you remember this body here. And see, I went to drill the posts in the front here that I'll show you in a little bit, and came right through here, unfortunately. Went a little bit too far. First mistake I made was not lubricating the drill bit, and usually I've been looking online, they suggest wax to do that. So that's one big boo-boo there. There's another big boo-boo too. As I'm sure you recall in the other video, I had put this snug against the back here because I was trying to give a little leeway in the front of the pick guard, so that there's a little bit of a gap. Unfortunately, it was too tight. The tremolo block couldn't move. I had to do actually the reverse to bring it as forward as much as possible, and which would have been perfect because it would have been aligned right in the middle of the tremolo pocket here. So what I tried to do is try to chip out some of the material here, because these holes can't move them, and went through a lot of trouble already. Unfortunately, as I was chipping away with a chisel and all that, this happened. Yeah, you can see it started coming apart here, here, and here. So the started knocking the pieces of wood out, and there's actually 3 pieces to this body. I thought there was only 2, but there's actually 3, and I learned the hard way. And I can't use this body. Well, I possibly could use it, but with these 2 big gaping holes here, and I'd have to hardtail it, and quite frankly, after seeing what I've done here, which is a huge mistake on my part, I'm not going to use the body, which is a shame because I really like the cherry burst. So I bought myself another body. Unfortunately, since they only had one cherry burst, a left-handed cherry burst with a humbucker, pocket in the back, which I wanted to have just to have options later on if I wanted to drop in a humbucker. I decided to, what else would be a classic color that would go good with a tortoiseshell pick guard? So I decided to go for Arctic white. Actually, Olympic white is usually the color that you want, but this is close enough. It's a little bit more bluish than Olympic white. Olympic white's a bit more yellowish, so to speak. Regardless to say, I tried it on with the pick guard, and think actually it makes a nice combination. Yes, I've actually gotten some cream-colored covers, and also buttons and switch button, and I'm going to eventually change all of it on there. But what I'm going to do now, and I'm not going to bother taping this because this is already like 6 minutes long. I'm just gonna go ahead and drill the posts, and this time I measured them properly, and I just broken the glaze right here just by making 2 little holes. I don't know if you can see that, and I've measured 3 times to make absolutely sure, and so it can rock back and forth no problem, like a tremolo is supposed to work, and hopefully it's going to turn out. This body's not perfect. It's clearly a 3-piece body. There's a piece that goes in the middle here, and you got the 2 sides here, and I don't know if you can see it on the camera there, but finish is not 100%. I did get the neck from DC Kunkel, which I'll show in another clip, and I tried it in here, and sure enough, as I said in previous videos, the neck pocket here is just slightly big, but I was able to find a swizzle stick like this. I'll be able to shim it on the side here. Other than that, the holes for the neck pocket will line up. So I got that going for me at least. So without further ado, I'm going to pause the camera now, and I'm going to drill those holes, and hopefully I won't fuck it up this time. Oh, I should have said messed it up. Anyway, stay tuned. Actually, before I get things started, I might as well show you the neck. This is from DC Kunkel. That's the date of manufacture, or at least when I think he completed it. And it's a one-piece maple neck. Yes, with a traditional Stratocaster headstock. It's a nitrocellulose finish all the way through, and I checked for the pockets. I'm not sure what this extra hole here is for. Probably for a truss rod or what have you. But it's a beautiful piece of wood. It's nice nitrocellulose. I am going to be putting a decal on here, and he told me to use 320 grit sandpaper just to make sure that this is even. And I'm probably going to add something in the back here as well, so I'm going to do the same thing. I was able to find some nitrocellulose. It's not the easiest thing in the world to find. I've been reading online about this stuff. It's clear lacquer, and it's super clear finish, and it's fast drying, and it's supposed to be nitrocellulose. That's what I've been reading online. It's practically the only thing I could find. Other than that, everything else is like, you know, acrylic. That's my landlady stuff, but yeah. And with the pick guard on here, where do they put, oh yeah, the pick guard's over there. Let me go grab it. You guys can maybe judge for yourselves. And by the way, the pick guard drops in perfectly there. I'm not going to bother, but I think this is a nice combination. Obviously, I'm not going to be assembling this all in one shot. This here, especially with nitrocellulose, takes longer than acrylic or I guess polyurethane finish. I also have to put in the tuners here. I actually haven't tried putting them in, so you know there's going to be many steps of this, but I'm hoping by next weekend the whole thing's going to be assembled, and I think it's going to look absolutely great once I put over these pickup covers too. It's going to be a nice matching set, and it's going to be a nice baritone. I'm also going to show you guys what kind of headstock I'm looking for. I haven't decided, you know, yet. Definitely, there's a few designs. I don't want to do the typical Fender type font like a lot of guys like to do with their part casters, so to speak. Want to do something that's like slightly better, although I do like the Futura font that they use, you know, for the Stratocaster or the Telecaster. I just think it looks really classic. Anyway, I'll find something, I'm sure. So yeah, I did the wax trick on the drill bit, and then finally, lo and behold, it's done. Yay! Thing is that these bolts here, they're not 100% flush. I think they're 1 millimeter off. But you know what? I think I'll be able to adjust the saddles accordingly. Plus, right now I can always drill a little bit more, or maybe use a round chisel inside. But it's done. It's in, and I just checked it, and yes, it rocks back and forth, so we're good. All I need to do now is, of course, put in the claw, and then put in the springs, and then put them here. And the tremolo system's in place. These are just wood and wax specs. I didn't screw this up. Yay! Well, the most nerve-wracking part is done. The rest of the stuff is pretty much going to be easy. And actually, I think I'm going to drop in the pick guard just to make sure everything lines up. It should. I measured the frickin' thing 4 times. Okay, well, the cable out is here, but I'm looking at this and it's perfect. Yep, she's perfect. Rock and roll. So the next thing to do after taking care of the tremolo is I'm going to solder up this here, and I'm going to put in the screws to fasten it, put in the football jack, put in the strap holders in the front and the back, and then it's going to be the neck to fit the neck on, and then that's going to be it. And then the next stuff is going to be decals. Yep, actually I think this is going to be it for this video. This is probably going to end up being like a 9-part series and all that. I'm not going to show myself on camera right now because this was so nerve-wracking. I just sweat like a pig, and so my hair looks all messed up.